Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 17th to the 24th. Before we get started, I really want to thank all of you for your kind wishes and your condolences regarding the passing of my dad. 10 days after the passing of my mother-in-law. It's been a challenging time, so I thank you so much for your patience and understanding why I haven't been loading videos. Thank you very much for that. It means a lot to me. All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's talk about Taurus season for you guys. We're going to discuss a relationship first, and then we're going to go into money/career. Those of you who've been watching me know how I do it. If you're new, welcome, welcome. So we're going to start off again with relationship and then go into anything that includes money in your life. We're going to be discussing that on the other side of this. And I will put a timestamp below for that. So the first up, we have self-sabotage. We have temptation. Okay. And we have take off your mask. Okay. So self-sabotage as well. I didn't show you that first one. All right, so let's pull a Celtic cross spread and see how we can connect these. So having to do with Taurus season, on the 19th, Mercury enters Taurus, and also on the 19th, the Sun enters Taurus. There's a lot of Taurus energy going on, and this is going to be happening in your 4th house of home. So it can be your literal home or just your ability to feel very grounded and safe and secure in your life. This is going to be a thing for you. You're going to be thinking things through very thoroughly. What is safety and security actually really mean for you, right? Because when Mercury is in Taurus, our thinking is very down to earth, very solid, very grounded. Common sense rules the day. For sure. We communicate more deliberately into this influence as well. Our minds are more oriented toward the 5 senses, because remember, Taurus is a Venusian energy, so it's Venus. Also, we prefer tried and true methods of communication and thinking instead of anything new. Because remember, it's Taurus, and Taurus is really does love something that's familiar, right? But you want to just be careful of not being too narrow-minded in your thinking, overly conservative, rigid, so where you're afraid to take chances, you know, Aquarius. Not typical for an Aquarius energy, but I am getting that for the archetype. I don't know what else is in your chart. You're not only Aquarius, but I am getting that. You want to just make sure of that. Now, with the Sun entering Taurus on the 19th, also in your 4th house, there's going to be a lot of focus here on either literal home, buying a home, selling a home, where you live now, who you live with, who you will be living with, anything like that, or your metaphorical home space, what you feel at home doing. Okay, so you're really going to be focusing on what it is that you value, because it's Taurus. Taurus is a landlord of the 2nd house of things that we value. So when the Sun is in Taurus, it's most active when it's defending or resisting things, right? So as the Sun moves through Taurus, your plans are really going to want to take root, right? And your determination and your security are going to be, your needs are going to be very, very strong. Taurus is a really, really loyal energy to anything that's familiar, that's got longevity, that's, you know, Taurus likes comfort, right? Because it's this earth energy. But again, the shadow side of Taurus is possessiveness and the potential for being a little bullheaded, right? So just a little heads up having to do with that. And then finally, on the 23rd of April, we have Mars entering Cancer, and that's going to be in your 6th house of your day-to-day, but with a focus on your work. So we're going to talk about that when we get to that. 6th house is also your health, mental, physical, emotional. So we're going to talk about that in a bit, but let's dig into this relationship read. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse in the recent past, and this is about somebody who had a very chaotic energy, Aquarius. You were dealing with somebody in relationship who you were maybe with, or maybe you experienced this energy, but I am feeling very strongly this is an energy that you were with. Chaotic. This does indicate sexual excess. This indicates somebody who's very impulsive, doesn't really very much think things through, not very responsible, right? Knight of Wands in the reverse, not a very responsible energy. You might have been dealing with a little bit of a player, or somebody who just has a lot of excuses, drags their feet, but just a very sort of messy energy. I can't put it any other way. It's like a messy energy. Right now, we have the Two of Wands, and it's crossed by the 7 of Cups. So The Two of Wands is a good energy. This is about making plans and moving forward. This is about partnership, a new romantic partnership, possibly through work or friends. And this could end up being a really good opportunity. It's you kind of getting on this new path, right? Because it's Mars and Aries. So it's this new path going on here. Definitely see that. But then we have crossing this, some confusion with the Seven of Cups. So there's some confusion there because there are choices. And you might even be experiencing commitment issues. Either you are having commitment issues or you're dealing with somebody else who has commitment issues and you're just not sure what's real, what's not. Things can feel rather up in the air right now. So this can also indicate the beginning stages of something new. So beginning stages of a new relationship, a new phase in a relationship for those of you who've been together for a while. So I feel like there's I have to tell you, I'm really getting very strong. There's an element of newness here after having been with a messy energy, if that makes sense. So we have as a crowning, we have the Five of Cups energy. So the Five of Cups energy is this element of loss, sadness, so something ending before you felt really fully ready for it to, but you being able to assimilate that stress and that sadness, you being able to work with it in order to bring a new start to yourself. Now, I just want to say we have the idea of self-sabotage and temptation and taking off your mask, which means being the most authentic version of yourself. So I'm wondering if you've been in this space where, look, you might have been the Knight of Wands energy. Look, we all go through periods, Aquarius, where we're a little bit messy in the energy. There's nothing wrong with admitting that every now and then. Some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Others of you are going to resonate with it that you were dealing with an energy who was like that. But regardless, this element of self-sabotage, getting in your own way, doing something where you're shooting yourself in the foot that you shouldn't be doing, and that we have this working with temptation. Right? I do sense here that there's some sort of temptation to sort of involve yourself in something. But this need to take off your mask, like, are you presenting yourself as one thing and actually sort of, I'm sort of getting like two tracks here, Aquarius, to be honest with you. So if this doesn't resonate, then it's not your reading. I know this is not going to resonate with all of you, but I feel like some of you are sort of either doing some sort of feeling either energetically tempted by somebody else. You might just be talking to them. You might be seeing them on the side, something like that. But I'm feeling like there's a lack of honesty, but I feel like the lack of honesty is more because there's confusion here. There's confusion here. Yes, because look, when it's in the foundation card, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, and this is about stress and feeling mentally blocked and not having very good justice, poor judgment, and dishonesty. So we have dishonesty working with temptation and self-sabotage, taking off your mask. So I feel like you could be in a situation where either you're meeting somebody new and you're not being 100% authentic, or you're in your relationship right now, you are thinking about either leaving the relationship to be alone or leaving the relationship to be with somebody else, but you're not being very forthcoming about it. Okay, now we have the Queen of Swords energy here. So let's talk about this for a second, because this is feeling very motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation of whoever it is that you're dealing with. And this is an energy of strength in adversity, and this is you and only you. So you may be dealing with, this is very interesting. Oh my gosh, Aquarius, this is like a very confusing energy I'm getting. So I'm just going to speak and hopefully you can follow my train of thought. Okay, so I'm getting that some of you were in something that was not healthy. You may be stepping into something else. You may not be really feeling fully comfortable to be your most authentic self right now. So you may not be very honest, but it's not in a way where you're trying to be malicious. You're trying to protect yourself to sort of see things where things are actually going to end up going. But while you're doing that, while you're almost in this testing phase, you're also at the same time trying to figure out that person's truth and their psychological motivation in wanting to be in connection, wanting to be in relationship. Many of you may even still be trying to figure out this past energy that you were with and why they did maybe what they did. So you're sort of in two places at once. You might be trying to get into a new relationship, but you know that you're not fully over something from the past. And your energy is still sort of busy with this past energy and trying to figure out why did they do what they did, and why did things go like that. Guys, you might even be dealing with somebody who either had some sort of mental imbalance, some sort of narcissistic tendency, some sort of personality disorder, be it, NPD, borderline, whatever. I'm not here to label or diagnose, but I'm just saying, like, the energy of chaos and just not knowing, that could be very, like, scattered and confusing even when you're out of it, right? So you may be feeling very unsure, like you want to be. I do feel like things ended in something before you felt really ready, and that ended up being very confusing. But at the same time, this Two of Wands tells me there's somebody else in your energy who wants to go forward, or at least you're thinking about going forward with them on a new path. But we have all of this, this mental block, this poor judgment, dealing with some sort of dishonesty, and you're just trying to figure it out. Yeah, because look at this. An external energy to you that's impacting you, we have the Five of Wands, and this is a very battle type of energy. Battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard. Saturn and Leo. Ego, lots of ego. Not agreeing at all. So somebody's just like not agreeable, and you're trying to figure them out. And what's interesting? You could say in your mind's eye, I see that person very clearly for who and what they are, for who and what they were. I know that how I felt about them was real. They ended up not being that person. Okay, I can process that all in my conscious mind. But then you still feel these emotions. Sometimes emotions are messy and they don't make any sense at all. Like, why do sometimes we miss people who we know fully well they're not even good for us, right? And you know that if something that you're reflecting on is still bothering you, right, deeply. So I am kind of feeling that. Let's take a look at your block here, is the King of Pentacles. And the thing was with the King of Pentacles, this person, this your block is this idea of having no patience for anyone who's looking to take what's yours, right? This is a very generous energy, hardworking. You want to be in a settled relationship. You want all of that. But it's like feeling comfortable in that space is a little hard for you right now. Right? And you might have trouble having some follow through. There could be some jealousy at play here. There can be. You might be dealing with a jealous person, and that is what instigated them doing what they did. But when I say looking to take what's yours, that could be anything from your money to your hopes, your dreams, what you want for yourself, how you want to be. Somebody coming in and trying to manipulate this. You don't have any patience for it. So it's almost like the best way to never have to deal with that situation again is to not get into that kind of relationship again. And this could be functioning very in the subconscious. Very in the subconscious. If you're really honest with yourself, saying, all right, I'm never allowing myself to go into that space because that did not feel good, and that person tried manipulating me, and I don't want that. But in the same way, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? You want to be able to how do I want to say this? This is a very like layered message, so I apologize if I'm not being very clear, but it's almost like you want the relationship, but you're afraid to go into that space again, wholly so, because you just don't want to deal with whatever it is that you dealt with last time, because you're still trying to figure out that mess out energetically so that you don't have to continue carrying it around. But at the same time, you want to open yourself up to somebody new. Very complicated. And we have the Queen of Wands here. So the Queen of Wands is about stepping into your power in the near future, and ideas popping, and you being strong, and you being able to have strong relationships, and you reaching a point where you're going to realize. There's going to be a point of realization. Because remember, the Wands are will and motivation and passion, and it's moving forward. Wands are about movement, and it's movement forward. right? So I do like this for you because it's a Pisces and Aries energy. So you want to think about it like this. If you think about the astrology wheel, right? If you think about the wheel and the houses, Pisces is the oldest sign. Aries is the youngest sign. Aries is the baby of the zodiac, right? It's the first house of self. And the 12th, Pisces is the 12th house of the subconscious and the hidden. So this is exactly Pisces and Aries energy. So it's like you're realizing the past. You're realizing where you might have been getting in your own way. Things, self-sabotage, right? Where you might have felt tempted. This is all Pisces energy, right? In the past. And you've learned from that. And now you're entering, right? You're working with the Aries energy here. Fresh path, new perspective. It's kind of like you saying, all right, I learned my lesson from that. And now I'm good. I'm not going to bring that into this relationship. And you stepping into your power because you're releasing and letting go of things that really weren't working for you. And you're allowing yourself to open up to a new path, a new cycle. Okay, so obviously you're not all going to be single or in the space of being with somebody and then not, right? This is a general message. So this Pisces and Aries energy here, or the Queen of Wands, can certainly indicate a new cycle in a relationship after a very unhealthy time period. But learning the lessons and being the most authentic version of yourself now, because this doesn't help you. Right? Allowing yourself to kind of get sucked in and dragged into a direction that you didn't even feel comfortable in. No, you're not going to do that. So we have the Knight of Pentacles as the final outcome card. Right? So the Knight of Pentacles is being very smart with your time. Very smart with your time. So you may be, if you're dealing with a person who's a Knight of Pentacles, this is Leo and Virgo energy, very loyal and dependable person. They have a lot to offer. They might be a bit boring, a little slow to share their feelings, but depending on what you're looking for, they could end up being your rock. But they might lack the excitement to capture your heart like long term in a truly satisfying way, but it does depend on where you're at. It really does. It depends on where you're at. But you're going to be very focused on whatever you're putting your time into, having to do with relationship. You're going to be very smart about it. And you're going to be very consistent in your efforts here. I do see this. Now, for those of you who are in a long-term relationship, I like this. This does indicate the relationship getting better. The connection is deepening. You're going to have to work harder, though, than you've worked before in order for there to be success in relationship. But it's right here for you to have it if you want it. So, pretty clear messages towards the end there, though. That middle was like, okay, wait. You give 4 messages at one time to unravel them. Let's pull some Island Time Wellness for some other messages. Anything that Aquarius needs to know about relationship. Date. Receiving what you need. Hammer. We got another sabotage energy here. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So, meeting somebody new, dating, and but getting back out there. That's being clarified by photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. You know, that happens a lot when we get into new relationships, though. Because it's like, oh, the last time I was in this space was with this person, right? So it's not uncommon if you're feeling that. But it's then we have both for you. Receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on. Moving on. Closure issues, but moving on. And allowing the endings to bring new beginnings for growth and change and liberation. So this is your transition ring, right? Coffin is allowing something to end wholly so that you can grow something brand new. We have hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. You might want to think about, where do you self-sabotage yourself in relationships, Aquarius? You know, we may be not expressive enough, not these are typical things that people do say about Aquarians, is that sometimes there's like a cold detachment, and you could be the most loving energy and not even realize that you're doing it. You know, you're just thinking about other things. You're just focused on other things, you know. But somebody really does like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun flirting. Want a date. And then we have the snake. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious. Look over your shoulder. The other person, another person. That could be a third party. But it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. This could just be this element of competition, and the competition really can just be living in your own mind, where you may be still thinking about that person from the past and you're wanting to give this new person a fair shake, right? So maybe you should talk to your friends about it, you know, talk it through with your friends. We have girl talk, could be boy talk, time with friends, moving on, living in the moment, having fun, and just talking about these things. For some of you it's going to be like that, but I feel like there's this movement, there's transition, there's weeding out an energy and meeting somebody new, and really needing to be very authentic in this new connection to yourself more than anything else, right? All right, so now let's get into career, money, career. So this could be, again, any legal situation. Saying legal separation, yeah, I mean, it could be a divorce, alimony, child support, inheritance, insurance payout, between worlds. Okay. Chop wood, don't do anything. Between worlds. Just for this week. Time for now. All right, we have 2 cards that indicate don't do anything when it comes to making any big sweeping decisions having to do with something financial within your career. It does seem like you're between things. So you might be trying to decide, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go into this new direction? Should I study this new thing? Should I change my course? You know, should I file for divorce? Should I file for that lawsuit? You know, whatever it is, it's feeling between things. But when we have chopped wood, let me just show you these. We have chopped wood and time for a nap. This literally means, what does it mean to chop? I mean, many of you, I'm sure, have heard the saying, you know, what are you doing? Nothing, just chopping wood. It means doing nothing, right? Just kind of hanging out. And then time for a nap, time for just rest, kind of a decompression. I always get almost like a 4 swords energy with this, where you're like taking a step back for perspective, doing maybe even some really good self-analysis, figuring out a better strategy for you moving forward in the situation regarding work. Let's pull a Celtic cross spread and let's see what we get. So we have an Ace of Cups, which is a really nice new offer that's going to help you grow. And we have that crossed by the Justice energy. Okay, so a lot of you may be feeling like something's not working out for you, so it's time for you to move on. Because when we get the Justice energy as a cross, you might feel like something is testing you in the workplace right now, right? I mean, the Ace is beautiful, right? Ace of Cups is, again, it's about fertility and the ability to grow, right? Something that really matters and really speaks to your heart space. Then we have that being crossed by the Justice energy. So this is, you might feel or experience a challenging situation that feels like a test. So this energy means that things are going to go well. They're going to go in your favor. Any kind of negotiation, any kind of interview, any situation where there's a meeting of the minds needed is going to go in your favor. If money's been an issue, it's not going to be an issue anymore. Things are set to improve, okay? Which is really good. Coming into this energy, though, you were kind of confused. There was a little confusion. You might have achieved a goal, but ultimately felt like it really wasn't worth the effort. You know, emotions weren't high, maybe with your boss or colleagues. You might even have felt in a space where you had to protect yourself from other people's negativity. You know, not a comfortable space. Money matters, could be stable, but you want more satisfaction from your work than just a paycheck. You know, we're talking about the moon. So you're thinking about no, right? Because the moon energy, you know, if you think the moon energy, look, we have the crab, which is Cancer, right? And Cancer is all about home and that metaphorical home space and feeling safe and secure. Coming out of the emotions, coming out of the water, going onto the land to go on this new path, right? So it really is about this new path. Wanting to start a new path. Yeah, look at this. We have the Death energy here. So the Death energy indicates a possible ending of a business connection or an avenue of money. Things might be tough initially, but this energy does indicate that there's something new on the horizon for you. To be patient, because something is really good that you're going to be transitioning into. We have the Hierophant energy. So the Hierophant is first of all, it's Taurus energy, and Taurus is one of the money houses, so we could just start with that. But this is about progression forward in your work and decisions and your direction in general. So you can be dealing with a very motivated, very inspirational person, somebody who maybe comes in and is agreeing to be your mentor, and maybe you're being exposed to something that you hadn't even thought of before. Getting a very nice energy from this. I feel like you're transitioning into something that's really nice. Oh, and look at you here. Beautiful. This is the energy that represents you right now, which is the World. It's the best card in the deck. You're achieving your goals, a new position, a promotion, some sort of award, something that's going to allow you to rise, right? Come into money, rise in status, just be more than where you're at right now, who you are right now in this area of work and career or having to do with money. The energy external to you that's impacting you right now in this world space is the Six of Cups. So you might be dealing with somebody that you knew from your past, an old friend. The old friend is somebody that matters to you. You might be reconnecting with an old job, old colleagues, something from your past, right? But what's nice about this is it's going to be brought into your future now, right? Your current situation that's going to end up helping you in your future, because there's going to be this ability to find the right balance, right? Things just being very balanced here because of somebody from your past. So somebody coming in and helping you out. Now your block here, the challenge, the block is the Temperance energy. So Temperance is Sagittarius. So it's a very disruptive energy and it's chaos and it's feeling out of control. But this is in your psychology position. So you may in your mind feel very confused about what it is that you want to do. Now the chaos doesn't actually have to be out in the 3D. You could just feel within yourself like, I don't know, feeling like maybe you kind of like really jammed up and running. And, I get it. You're going to have Mars and Cancer in that 6th house, right? So that's going to be going from April 23rd until June 11th. So you have a nice little stint of time where Mars, the warrior planet, is going to be in that 6th house of work environment. And Cancer is all about, is this the right thing for me? Because everything has to be in sync with your emotions. It's very much like, how do I feel in this sort of thing? And I feel like a lot of you are just going to be in this, I'm not sure, is this the right thing? Maybe this is, and then what does that mean? Maybe I have to change my direction altogether. And we have the Strength energy in the near future. So this can indicate a lot of tension maybe that you're going through at work due to ego, but things being resolved through empathy. So it could certainly be that. But this is also approaching something from a very creative space, because the Strength energy is Leo, and Leo is that 5th house of creativity. It's also entrepreneurial efforts, really doing something also in your own way. So we have that. That is a positive energy. And then the final outcome, we have the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is moving on, detaching yourself from something that, or taking a break or stepping away from something that you didn't think was the best thing for you. Could have been something that was toxic, but it's just this idea of needing time apart from something, detaching from something, pulling away, going away, allowing some space to do some internal work. So literally like a moving away from something to focus on something else, at least mentally. Yeah, so I see so what I'm seeing here is a lot of transition. And so because the transition, you can't see what's on the other side of it. And that way it's kind of like a 7 of Cups energy to me. So you may not see what's on the other side of it. So what should you do? Nothing. Let it roll out. You're feeling yourself between things. Let things roll out. There are things happening, very serendipitous experiences going on. You're dealing with somebody new or a group of new people, or you are establishing yourself. You might be planning to get into something new. Very clear to me. There's something new coming in for you. But don't do anything yet. The change is not going to happen this particular week. But you're going to feel restless. Whenever Mars is in a sign, there's restlessness. There just is. I mean, we've all been feeling restless because Mars has been in Gemini, but, and you know, the 23rd is going into Cancer, way more chilled out. It's more about the emotions. So where we've been feeling this sort of scattered energy in our mind, in our communication, now we're going to start feeling kind of scattered in our emotions. And because this is in your 6th house, you might be like, all right, I don't know, what am I doing here? What do I really want? What do I want to be really when I grow up, kind of thing, right? All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.